Thank you for Novacon to organize about this seminar. It's a fantastic lunch. I will say that. I think everyone have a full lunch, but please don't fall in sleep later on. So before I start my presentations, I think we should do some exercise first, then to prevent everyone falling asleep. Is that okay? Very good, very good. I like your feedback. That's good. Okay, so please continue about this interactive discussion. I would like to have a more interactive discussion on that, so we can have a good section on that. So first of all, I have one question. Who is male? Man, please raise your hand. Male, raise your hand, please. Everyone is male? Good, very good. Raise your hands. Okay. Who is female? And girl, woman, please raise your hand. Very good. Exercise a little bit your hands. My next question, who raised your hands both twice? No, okay, it's just a joke. Okay, so let's start about my presentation. Okay. About poultry industry. Okay, I think in poultry industry we are very challenging. We face a lot of challenge. Our challenge is not just external challenge, we also face our internal challenge on that. So to keep your company survive or continue process and get profit in this industry, sometimes our company would like to set up a KPI for ourselves to keep improvement. This is some of the example KPI that everyone set up. So number one, production 90%, okay, above that in more than 36 weeks continuously. I think everyone can get 90% of production all the times, all right? So when the birds get age 24-week olds, then you can get a production more than 90%. The question is, how long you can continuously get 90%? Can you get more than 36 weeks and above? Can you get it? Please raise your hand. Good, I can see someone very proud on that. I can do that. Easy piece of cake. So let's go to the second question. Can you also get that the accumulation mortality is less than 4% when the bird age more than 81 weeks age? Oops, someone start sweating. I can see someone is sweating. And the next question, and can you get it? The accumulated egg per hen house more than 400 eggs at 84 weeks. Oh, I see that everyone is quiet over there. For your information, I heard about some of the people can get 500 eggs per hen house in 100 weeks old age. So that is a very fantastic job. So if you can get it, that means your profitability is secure. This is how we push ourselves in this industry and get further better and better. However, at the same time, we also facing some external challenges. What is the external challenges that we face? It's a climate change. Climate change is another very big topic in global-wise, I would like to say that. So we receive a break record high temperature and break record low temperature. And I believe that last year in Kolkata over here, you guys also facing some typhoon and hurricanes in last year. So this kind of the extreme climate is keep continuously coming and coming rapidly than compared with last 20 years ago. So sometimes we're facing about this question, challenging, and my customer and my friends always invite me go to the farm to have a look what we can do and how do we improve in your farm area. So I would like to give you some hints on that. This is my hints. Every time I go to the farm, I will suggest, please, every day you have to do this 5 factor. Go and check your farm and your poultry shed. This 5 factor is called FLAWS. So first, what is F? Feed. Feed is the most important. I think everyone agree about it. So you have a fresh feed, you have a very good nutrition feeds on that. So your birds grow very fast and stable, okay? And you get a good production in eggs, right? So next, lighting. Lighting is very important as well, especially the birds in the first week, they all chick until week 2. And there is another time is very important in lighting, which is week 15 to week 18. This is where you start control the pre-matured and post-matured time. Next, air. Air is mean ventilation. So today my topic will talk about this ventilation in more further and let us understand about what is ventilation, especially in EC control house. Next, water. Yes, water very important. I think most of you, the farm is using the underground water. So do you send the water to the lab test? What is the hardness about your water? pH, nutrition inside the water. Do you do water treatment before send it to the farm and let the birds consume? That is very important. And the last one is about biosecurity and standardization. Do you do standardization in your farm? Prevent the disease? I always believe that prevention is better than cure. So this all sanitization, biosecurity is very important. Do you keep constantly check your sanitization equipment is still in the valid date or is already expired? That is very important, all this. So all this topic we can talk further in the future, but today I would like to share with you my experience about the ventilations. So when we go to the ventilation, point number 1, if you go to the management guideline, you can always see the point, the first point is about the temperature. Here I show you a temperature. Over here you can see that. So in the day O, you can see that the room temperature that birds need to target is 35 degrees Celsius to 33 degrees Celsius. And continuously when the birds grow older, after 35 days, the birds need temperature is between 19 to 17 degrees Celsius. In this data, you can see that the management guideline tell us is in the range basis, 35 to 33 degrees Celsius. And when the birds get older, 19 to 17 degrees Celsius. This is all in the range basis. Why is in the range? Because birds is not a machine. Birds is livestock. It's same like human. Some people will feel 21 degrees Celsius is cold. Some people feel I'm comfortable about it. And some people feel hot. So this is why it's in the range basis. And the second graph over here is show that is called thermal comfort zone in the yellow colors over there. So this is the range basis. When we monitor about the birds, we want to know about the range and then adjust the temperature accordingly. And studies show in the Poultry World magazine, it showed that when the birds is out of this range, it can cause the egg weight reduce, okay? 0.4 grams per degree Celsius. That's very important, which means if your birds get hotter, your egg size reduce. If the birds get colder, the egg size reduce as well. So when we know about the birds' temperature, let us compare with the Kolkata temperature over here. You can see from this graph over here, when the temperature, when the month is in April until August, the Kolkata average temperature is never lower than 21 degrees Celsius. Let's go back to the size over here. You can see that when the birds is above 35 degrees Celsius over here, all right? Okay, 35 degrees Celsius. The birds need 19 to 17 degrees Celsius. But in Kolkata, the temperature is never lower than 20 degrees Celsius. So that means birds always feel hot during that month. So what we got to do? Let the birds continue hot about it. It will impact to your performance, impact to your money over here. So what we can do over here is we can make the birds feel like 19 to 17 degrees Celsius. How do we do that? By using wind chill effect. So some people ask me, what is wind chill effect? Let me do an example over here. Okay. Next slide, please. Yes. Okay. So I think everyone have drive motorbike before, right? So before you start your motorbike, you're sitting in on your motorbike, you can take out a temperature sensor to measure your surrounding temperature. As an example, you will feel that the temperature sensor showed it to you, the temperature is in 25 degrees Celsius. Then next, when you start your motorbike, riding your motorbike, right, with 30 kilometers per hour over here, then your field temperature is different with your measurement temperature. In here, you can see that the measurement temperature is shown 25 degrees Celsius, but your personal feeling temperature over here, it dropped because the winds blow to you, let you feel colder. You can feel like 20 degrees Celsius. So, if you go further faster, drive faster with your motorbike, with 60 kilometers per hour, your personal feeling temperature, it drops further. It can drop to 15 degrees Celsius. However, if during that time you take out a temperature sensor to do the measurement, the temperature sensor still show you 25 degrees Celsius, and your personal feeling temperature, it dropped to 15 degrees Celsius. So with these experiments, what we can say? Point number one, measurement temperature, 25 degrees Celsius. Point number two, wind speed, speed of winds. And point number three, it results to your feeling temperature. Same as poultry. So in poultry, scientists has made a study on that with the wind chill effect impact to the birds. So in this data over here, you can see when a poultry house, I create a wind speed with 1 meter per second, for day-old chick, they will feel 7 degrees Celsius drop. Of course, when the birds get older, to 35 days, with 1 meter per second wind speed, the birds feel 3 degrees Celsius drop. Why? That is because the birds start have feathering, and then they start getting bigger, so they feel comfortable about the temperature. So that's why the feeling temperature impact to the wind speed, it get narrowed down over here. So from here, we can create a formula. Has a bit Dutchman, okay? We have this formula and put it in our controller and help you to understand the bird's felt temperature versus the wind speed. So let's do an exercise. You can see this formula, the experience temperature of the birds, it's equals to inside temperature minus wind speed times chill factor. Okay, so let's do some exercise. Exercise your brain, don't fall asleep. Okay, so let's see. If inside house temperature right now is 29 degrees Celsius, it's high temperature, all right? And the chill factor for a bird, and for 35-day birds, it's 3. Follow the data just now. If I create a layer easy house with the wind speed 3 meters per second, okay? Can you tell me what is the bird felt temperature? Excellent, very good. So it's about the 20 degrees Celsius, which is same like the data over here. You can see that? The room temperature that we need is between 20 degrees Celsius. Even now, the inside house temperature is 29 degrees Celsius, but we can make the birds feel like 20 degrees Celsius. Simple mathematics. Let's go to question number 2. Okay, now the room house is extremely high, 33 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we know that for the birds, 35 days layer, okay, the chill factor is 3. And we want the room temperature or the set point is in 21 degrees Celsius. This is what birds need, according to the management guideline. So may I know what is the wind speed that we want to create? 4. I can see someone raise hand say 4. Yes. Yeah, absolutely right. Is that 4? I would like to tell you that the answer is no. Why? It's because 4 meters per second wind speed is like a typhoon. It's like a hurricane. So if too strong the wind speed for the birds will be sitting down there, don't eat and drink. So it's same like human as well. If you face a very strong wind speed to yourself, you won't feel wind chill effect anymore. You just feel strong wind speed. That's it. So in management over here, Big Dutchman have coming out study, wind chill effect, it works between 1 meter per second to 4 meters per second. If more than 4 meters per second, it's just a strong winds. All right? But if the wind speed is lower than 1 meter per second, it's just a slow air movement. There is no wind chill effect. So when Big Dutchman design an easy house ventilation, we always use 3.5 meters per second, the maximum airspeed, to design your house and put how many fans and others and cross-section and design the house for you. All right? So here I would like to put a simple summary over here to you. So first thing, when we design a house, a tunnel ventilation house, first thing first, we need to know about the different age. Different age of birds, they have a different temperature chill factor. And secondly, the chill factor, it works in 1 meter per second to 4 meters per second. So question number 3. Okay, now we know that when we design a house, it's 3 meters per second, all right? 3.5 meters per second. And the chill factor is about 3 over here. If I put all information in here, you can see that the maximum room temperature I can go with tunnel ventilation is 31.5 degrees Celsius. All right, it's here. Okay, so my question is, in Kolkata over here, is that possible our temperature is more than 31.5 degrees Celsius? Yes, it's possible. Sometimes it shoot up to 40 degrees Celsius in summertime. So after 31.5 degrees Celsius, what is our next step? Very good. I heard someone say tunnel cooling. Evaporative cooling is very important. So tunnel ventilation is not just have fan. You also have to have a tunnel cooling in front of that. We call it evaporative cooling. But the question is, when shall we use this tunnel cooling? All right? So first of all, before we use this tunnel cooling, we have to understand the birds, what they need, and what the birds do to release their heat over here. Point number 1, birds' body temperature is between 40 to 41 degrees Celsius. They need this heat to run daily activities such as digestion, okay, walk around, chit-chat with the other birds, okay, and they have this daily activity to keep constant their body temperature, okay? So when the birds release the heat to the environment, this is what we call, in scientific terms, we call it sensible heat loss, okay? When the environment temperature is lower, it makes birds much easy to release the heat, okay? However, we have to understand, birds does not have sweat glands. So when birds is too hot, what they do panting. This is a very famous experiment done by University of Georgia in US. They put a bird in a controlled environment and they find out when the temperature is between 25 degrees Celsius and the humidity is 50% in this controlled environment, the birds able to release their heat 60 kilojoule, okay, per hour, okay? And you can see that there is sensible heat released is about 16 kilojoule, and the rest is about latent heat. What is latent heat means? Panting, all right? Birds can easily do panting released by using humidity. And when the temperature goes up to 30 degrees Celsius and 50% humidity, you can see that the sensible heat release is getting less because the environment temperature is going higher. But the birds still able to release heat by panting, the red color over there. When the temperature is stay in 30 degrees Celsius, the humidity shoot up to 90%. The birds not allowed to do panting anymore because the moisture in that environment is too much. So when the birds cannot do panting, what's happened? Birds die. So when you do the control about the ventilation, especially in cooling pads, we have to ensure the environment saturation of the moisture is still there. So birds can do normal panting and then release their heat over here. So how to study about it? This is one of the universities show us by like humans the heat index over here. You can see from here when the temperature is in 28 degrees Celsius and the humidity is 95%, the birds is fall under emergency zone. When the humidity is getting lower, it reduces to danger zone, alert zone, and comfort zone over here. This study is based on, we call it Mueller diagram or IX diagram. Engineering a little bit, I got to speed over there, okay? So, when we know about the heat index, we also can compare with your local climate. For your information, Big Dutchman have signed up with NASA, so we can access the global data. We can access about 5 climate satellites, and we can access about 8,650 plus weather stations to understand where the location and what kind of the climate it is. So this is the data that I pull out. You can see the airflow in Kolkata by yesterday. I pulled out this data yesterday. And we also have the data over here to show the whole year temperature in Kolkata. Let me teach you how to read this. So as example, over here, you can see that when the temperature is between 38 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, and the humidity fall under 55 to 60, okay? It's about 4 hours in a year. So if you combine over here, the temperature is between 28 to 40 degrees Celsius in a year. It's about 42 hours in a year. So by this data, plus the heat index over there, we can easily to study what is the temperature and how the birds feel in your Kolkata area. So as example over here, the birds fall under comfort zone is 11% in a year. And you can see the birds fall under emergency zone over here. It's about 40%, more than 40% in a year. So that means you need to use evaporative cooling to cool down your birds in a year more than 40%. So that is very important. Okay? So beside that, we know that if you use the EC house over here, right, you need to set up a fan. And fan is another cost because fan, it runs electricity. So in the traditional control way, as example over here, you can see that I have a switch 1, control 1 fan. Switch 2, control 2 fan. And switch 3, I control 4 fan over here. This is the step it will go. Step 1 and 2 and 3. But with the better controller, with an AI controller, it will adjust accordingly. With every step, just increase 1 fan. It's a combination number. At the same time, we know that inverter, right? Now it's a very common technology. We use that in washing machine and our cooling condition, air cons over there. So inverter also can use in our EC house to reduce your daily operating costs as well. So this is one of the example by using the inverter fans to reduce the electricity costs over here. All right, we can run it controllably, okay, to reduce the fans. And you can see that when the fan is running in 50%, okay, in the ramping method, your power consumption is only 1 of the 8, okay, power consumption per fan. It helps you reduce your electricity more than 50%. This is how the aircon works. This is the physics. Everyone's used the inverter fan, inverter aircon, inverter washing machine. Yes, you can reduce your power consumption over here. So, as a summary, point number 1, wind chill effect. Point number 2, evaporative cooling. You need to know how to control. Don't push up the humidity, all right? So let's talk about the control. In here, I would like to share with you, over here, we also have a weather station to know about your local weathers over here. Before the weather's impact to your house, we already start the controlling. And this is a little bit self-learning AI controller. All right? So next thing, a lot of people say that, now you tell me tunnel ventilation. What about in the winter times? How do we should control? When the fan is run low, okay? You can see from here, when the wind speed is below 1 meter per second, if the house length is more than 120 meter, the fan is the fresh air travel from the front to the end, it needs 240 seconds. So it's about 4 minutes. It takes a long time to travel over here. So this is where the accumulation of the outdoor air is getting better and better over here. Here it's become a huge CO2 ammonia at the end. So this is why you find out your performance, your bird performance at the end of the house and the front of the house is different. So tunnel ventilation is good in summertime, but when the winter time, we need to use a different ways to control. This is what we say, you need to use a side ventilation control. All right? So inside ventilation, there is a few ways. Let me tell you a little bit of history. This is the first generation of the combi tunnel. We use tunnel fan to control at the end of the house. Okay? So the air is still moved from the front to the end, and then move to the end. All right? You can get an even temperature, but the outdoor air still accumulates to the front area. Okay? Fan area over there. So this is why now the combi tunnel is coming out with the second generations. It used the side fan over here, side fan to control. And next, in Japan, some modern country, we use a chimney, has a tunnel ventilations. Once you have the equipment, there is some very important thing is you need to know how to use it. Okay, this is one of the video I would like to share with you to see how the ventilation control it is. Can you help me to play the video? Yes, thank you. Okay, so you can see this smoke test over here. This is a bad example. Let me show you. Can you tell me what's wrong about this smoke over here? Let's have a look. All right, you can see the smoke is going on. All right, the smoke is go further. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Can you help me to play that?
No.
Okay.
Start, Ryan.
Again, huh? Should start?
Yes.
Okay, you can see the smoke is coming up.
The meter, you can see, it push the air down. Down. You see? Here it's go down, right? Here it's go down.
Yeah.
The most important is here. It go down.
Do you see the air flow differently? This is the good way.
So if I am bird, right?
This is how we let the air come, follow the shilling, and able to come down. Of course, we can do the same thing in a cage house, layer house. This is about 8 tier. Okay. You can see the smoke. It able to bring the fresh air go to the every cage system, and even to push the air go down to the catwalk. So this is what I would like to say. When you purchase equipment is an equipment. But the most important is the technology and the skill and the knowledge transfer from Germany to India. All right? So a little bit summary, okay? So this is how the airflow grows. So when you do the site ventilation, I always say that you need to do a smoke test to make sure your air circulation, your airflow is in the right, proper way. So before I end my presentation slide, please, I still have one slide, okay. I would like to introduce about our controller, all right? Can you play that? Ladies and gentlemen, so B-Dutchman controller is launched, all right? This is an AI controller, so able to help you to learn and self-learning and help you to do the adjustment. Glass view, you can see all the control in one glass view, user friendliness. Okay, so this is my last slide. Okay, so I would like to say, you got to think about this. Where are your position right now? Are you still stay in open house, the tradition farming, or you already move to automation? You got to think about it. And when you move to automations, do you digitalize it? Because when you digitalize this, you can get the data. And when you get the data, you can do improvement. And think about it. When you collect so much of data, you don't have to analyze it by yourselves, because right now we have AI in the world. So let AI analyze your data and help you to do the improvement. This is the future world. You purchase today the farm, you do the farm operation today, is not just for today, it's for the future. It's for next 5 years, 10 years, even 15 years. So think about it. If you have any question, please contact me, and you can contact my colleagues over here, Mr. Ranawat. Mr. Ranawat, please stand up, all right? So you can contact our Mr. Ranawat. Okay, we have an office set up in Hyderabad. So if you have any question, please contact us and we can have a further discussion. Thank you so much.